Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 22 shows Boruto going up against Jura to protect Konohamaru, to protect all of his friends, to give them the opportunity to get away. One, because Kashin Koji isn't telling him everything, and he's getting distrustful of Kashin Koji. He's willing to sacrifice his own friends, or he just sacrificed Yojo so that Sarada could get an upgrade. What makes you think that he won't sacrifice Konohamaru, or Mitsuki, or Sarada, just so that way things go the perfect way, I guess, or a way where they basically defeat the Shinju. Like, Boruto's not willing to give that up. But what I'm curious about is, Boruto isn't supposed to swoop in, you know what I mean? He's not supposed to join the battle. That's what Kashin Koji didn't want. So, my question is, like, how much of the future of their reality did Boruto change by showing up? Now, obviously, Boruto's odds of dying rapidly increased, and more than likely could still happen. You know what I mean? We don't know what's going to happen exactly. But at the same time, maybe protecting Konohamaru down the line will be important. Protecting Mitsuki, protecting Arya, protecting all of them was worth it, you know, in the long run, to like make the best possible future for everybody. So for me, I want to know is Boruto changing that whole outcome, facing Jura, even though it's a death sentence, it could still spell out the best possible future for everybody in a way that would possibly be needed. So in the future, maybe we'll see Konohamaru actually like get a win, get a victory because Boruto swooped in and saved him. And we'll get to see Sarada and Mitsuki and everybody like grouped together, or when they take on the Shinju in the village, or they fight back and whatnot, you know, against the Otsutsukis or whatever. It's going to be all worth it in the end. And so how does this moment change everything? How does this moment make him not only stand up to the Otsutsukis, stand up to Jura and the other Shinju, but also emboldens other people to take risks that maybe Kashin Koji doesn't see, right? So if Boruto doesn't show up, then there wouldn't be any opportunity for maybe Kawaki to swoop in, you know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't need to, or it wouldn't be necessary to, right? Or for Kashin Koji to step up. Maybe he'll reveal himself. Maybe he'll take the opportunity to be like, you know what? I'm not a robot either. I'm not just like the Shinju who are just logical and going after the right thing. I have to be emotional as well, because that's what I feel is right. So maybe he steps up or swoops in and helps Boruto out and gives him the advantage or the opportunity to escape. Stuff like that. How does Boruto actively change the future, change the world, you know, by acting upon his feelings, by being the kind of person that acts upon his feelings? Now, does Boruto 100% like change things for the better? I don't think so, and I think it's going to have some drastic consequences. Boruto's feelings or his wants to protect his friends, you know what I mean? It's going to give Momoshiki an opportunity to hurt Boruto, to hurt the village, to stop and like wreak havoc and destroy things. So everything's not going to go perfectly for Boruto, but that's maybe the consequences of what he did, right? Him stepping up here maybe is a positive thing for now, but later on down the line, it's a negative thing because maybe Momoshiki pops out and he ruins things worse. You know, he makes things worse than it should be, you know? So things like that, opportunities, moments where we see it's a good thing, or I see Boruto stepping up as a positive. You know, him going against Kashin Koji, against the future, against those realities, those possibilities, risking death even to save his friends is worth it. But should Momoshiki pop out, then it's like, we messed up here. Maybe he should have held back. Maybe this, maybe that, you know what I mean? But he's already out there, you know what I mean? So it's looking at it from the lens of kind of like stepping, you know, following your emotions or pulling back for the logical reasons, you know what I mean? For the possibility of Momoshiki popping out or using his karma, you know, stuff like that. But how much of this future has changed? How much of this intervention or him going against Kashin Koji or acting on his impulses, on his emotions, really changes everything? And it does change some, not everything, but you get what I'm saying, is that like he's changed it and he has diverted them into another direction, a direction where Boruto maybe needs to be saved by Kashinkoji, where Boruto needs to be saved by Kawaki, or he needs to be paired up with somebody else to help him fight an attack, or things like that. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll really get an answer to my question in the next chapter when we see what follows all of this. How does Boruto maybe handle the situation or gets help from people, you know, to deal with the situation and whatnot. But it is always interesting to think about, like, what if he did it, you know? So we'll have to see. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think Boruto has changed by just swooping in right now, you know what I mean? Do you think Konohamaru could have beat Matsuri without him? Do you think that everything would have been a lot easier on them if Boruto didn't show up, you know? And now that Jura's appeared and is basically fighting him, it opens the door to a lot of other bad possibilities, you know what I mean? Let me know what you think. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Yeah.